Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of HardcoreCloser.com, and this podcast is all about helping you, the salesperson, close more sales. And look, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, consulting, whatever it is that you sell, this podcast is dedicated to help you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so you can get paid what you're worth. Welcome to episode 81 of the Hardcore Closer Podcast, and I am glad that you're here. If you're a first timer, good luck. Good luck. Good news. There is at least 80 other episodes besides this one that you can check out, maybe more depending on what time in the future you're looking for. But if you've been here before, you know what I'm going to ask you to do, and that's leave a review. Listen, I have a goal to reach 300 million salespeople across the globe, and one of the biggest mediums that we can do that on is the iTunes podcast. So listen, I know it's a pain in the ass. I know that you have to go in the podcast app, and then so you not only have to open the podcast app, then you have to go and find the Hardcore Closer podcast, and then you have to open it up and then hit reviews on there. I know it's a pain in the ass. That's why it's so important. We got to do the hard stuff in order to get the good stuff. So I'm just asking you today that you leave me a review. If you've been here before, if this is your first time, you're in for some good stuff, right? But here's an example of a review. It says right here, best original sales content, period. Each one of those has a period after it. 5 stars, of course, by Anarchy_1. And this is fairly new. This was like yesterday, actually, September 11th, 2007. It says, if you're looking for the best up-to-date original sales content, then stick around your home. Ryan Stewman will raw dog you with weekly podcasts, allowing you to exploit your talents and professions in ways that you couldn't even understand. Get ready to have your thought process challenged with his in-your-face, give me my money attitude. This will change how you go out and get yours. It's changed how I get mine for certain. If you're tired of overpaying for being underserved with your IT services, call us and give us a shout at Mid-City Office Systems in Auburn, Indiana, 260-925-3414. Much like Mr. Stewman, we don't have time to waste. Ours or yours. This is our 65th year in business since my grandfather began, since my grandfather created us with typewriters. So you might say adaption and overcoming change is what we do. Well, check that out. Dude's got Mid-City Office Systems IT support in Auburn, Indiana, 260-925-3414. Appreciate that. Whatever the hell this guy's name is. Anarchy1, but we don't know your real name. But I would guess, maybe I said it on here somewhere. Anyway, call them. That's what we do here. You leave me a review, I'll return the favor by reading an advertisement about your business. How you like that? All right. So here's the thing before we get into everything today. We have a game changer on our hand, ladies and gentlemen. A motherfucking game changer. And this is the first time that I have mentioned it on this podcast. This is the first time that you're probably going to hear of anything like this. And I want you to know that you heard it first from me, that I invented this shit. I don't care whose ego gets in the way or who may try to coin my shit down the road. But I invented this stuff. And you have an opportunity to jump in on some ground floor shit. No, it's not Bitcoin. No, it's not how to flip exotic cars. It's some real shit. You see, there is a huge segment, and it's not even an up and coming segment anymore. It's a domineering segment of the marketplace, and these people call themselves funnel hackers, funnel makers. And what they do is, there was the .com bubble in the 90s, and everybody had to get a website, and the people like Reach Local and Yelp and AOL, the people that sold websites made billions. But websites were fucking complicated, right? Like websites that you had to learn code and all this other shit. It was complicated. Well, now there's this whole new website, and it's replacing websites. It's called a funnel. And it looks like a website. It acts like a website, but what it does is it generates leads. See, most people have a website, and that website's more like a business card. It's like, here we are, contact us if you like us. Whereas a sales funnel says, give me your information, let me sell you something. Well, see, most salespeople have never even heard about this, but if you get inbound leads, there's a funnel somewhere feeding you those inbound leads. The funnel may be TV to phone number. The funnel may be direct mail to a website, but that website grabs their information, and that's how you get the lead. Then boom, that's a funnel. The thing is, every business needs a sales funnel. There's no doubt about it. Every single business on the planet should have a sales funnel working for them. Should be more important than their website. A lot of businesses don't even know that these things exist. However, they are on the come up because shows like The Profit with CNBC featured Russell Brunson, the CEO of ClickFunnels, which is one of the softwares that you can easily make these funnels through. And Marcus Lemonis said it himself, every small business should have one of these. Well, we live in a time where, car sales pays $200 a pop, insurance sales pays $500 a pop on average, right? I'm just saying on average. The average loan officer makes $8,000 a month. The average realtor makes $6,000 a month. That's crazy, huh? Which to some people that might seem like a lot of money. And if it's a lot of money to you, first of all, I would like to challenge your thinking, get your thinking up, because it's really not. But here's what I want to challenge you with, is there's a whole segment growing out there in the marketplace happening without you. And it's people that are making these funnels for businesses. And you have an opportunity to go out and sell businesses these funnels without needing software skills, without having to learn how to code or sign up for ClickFunnels or any of this stuff. I've found a need and filled it. That's what we do as salespeople, right? That's our jobs, to find a need and fill it. Well, I see the market changing and more businesses needing funnels. People hit me up every day for funnels, and I don't make funnels. That's not my thing. I can teach you how to make them. I make my own damn funnels, but I don't make funnels for other people. That's just not my thing. I'm not a other people. I have in the past. I just don't do that anymore. But there's a huge demand for it. My inbox is full every day. My friends that make funnels, their inboxes are full every single day of people that need funnels. Well, here's the cool thing. As a sales guy, you can go out and sell people through social media, through calling small business owners, these different arrangements that we've already set up and these different strategies that we've already set up for you. You can call small businesses and sell them funnels. You can sell a funnel from anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000. And it usually can be delivered in a week. And you can get a virtual assistant overseas that's already trained. There's tons of them that already know how to do this stuff that are overseas that'll make an entire funnel for you for $500 and love you. Do you realize if you live in India on $1 a day, where arguably the people have the best tech skill, or in Asia, but if you live in India where the average wage is $1 a day and all of a sudden you put $500 in somebody's pocket a few times a month, that's some life-changing shit for them. All of a sudden, you put them on retainer for $2,500 a month and you're getting 20 funnels built. That's $40,000 you get to keep every month. Bare minimum. I found that there's over 200,000 qualified funnel makers across the world right now between lead pages and ClickFunnels alone. That's not counting Wix, Unbounce Me, or any of the other things that are available out there. And now, if you're listening to this and you're going, what in the fuck? He's using a lot of language and stuff I don't understand. That's okay. We've got a dictionary and we teach you the vocabulary in the program too, because you're going to need to know it. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but there's 5.8 million small businesses in America alone with 200,000 funnel makers. And all you have to do as a salesperson is play fucking matchmaker and get paid. We've got the how, we've got the who, we've got the scripts, we've got the contracts, we've got the whole business in a box put together for you. And you might say, well, how do I know that this is a real market? Because I'm making millions of dollars a year from it. That's what I do, is a funnel. The funnel is what I've got 2 ClickFunnels platinum plaques, which means I've made over $1 million on 2 different funnels hanging on the wall of my office. One of them for my elevator to the top, which is our Break Free Academy Entourage program, which crossed $1 million not too long ago, actually. And the other one is for Break Free Academy Digital, which was our digital program. And I'm about to put one on for funnel closers. I feel it coming because this is the ultimate, you guys. This is the ultimate. You get to play matchmaker, and in your spare time while you're sitting at the car lot and there aren't any ups coming in, there aren't shit to do, you could be on your phone on social media selling people funnels. You sell 1 funnel a week, that's $8,000 a month. That's more than the average American makes anyway. That would replace a lot of you. That would replace your need to be on the lot at a car lot or whatever. And this industry is going to be around for the next 10 years. because we're on the very beginning of it. We're in the very beginning of it. And so listen, I've created this training, this free training for you, and it's going to explain all this and then some, like just so that you can take an overlook at what's available out there so you can go and attack this market. Just go to Funnel Closer, that's us. We're funnelclosers.com. So Funnel Closer, singular, funnelcloser.com. Sign up for the free webinar and watch that, take advantage of it. Because here's what I know. We have set up a machine for you, and the opportunity is limitless. But it may sound like Greek to you what I've said right now, but I'm promising you that there is millions upon millions of personal income dollars you can make over the next 10 years if you just put the shit into action. Funnelcloser.com. That's what I'm talking about. Go over there. Let me change your life. Let me change your life. Just give me a chance. All right, let's jump into the episode here. We got our magic number 5 today. We talk about 5 tips for dealing with haters and naysayers. And really, some of you listen to this right now going, Stewman, you the worst motherfucker on the planet to give advice about that shit. You might be right. Or maybe I have a method to my madness. Or maybe you're right and I have a method and maybe I'm mad. Well, here's the thing. I recently hired David Goggins as a mentor to personally coach me. If you're not familiar with who that is, he's an ex-Navy SEAL for almost 2 decades. He was a Navy SEAL. He's been through 3 hell weeks. Holds world records for the most chin-ups done in a day. It's a ridiculous thousands of chin-ups that he did in 24 hours. He's ran 200 miles straight before. He's well known as the world's fittest man, but I didn't hire him to get me into any kind of fitness shape. DG's not telling me to go out and run 10 miles a day or anything like that. I hired him because in order for a human being to survive 3 hell weeks and stay in the SEALs as one of the top SEALs for almost 2 decades, that's not about physicality. That's about mindset. And mindset supersedes physicality because if you got a tough mind, you can make your body do whatever the fuck your mind tells it to do. Well, one of the things David and I were talking the other day on the phone or coaching call or whatever, one of the things that I hired him for was to be able to escape needing to defend myself. You see, I grew up in a family where when someone got in trouble, it was always my fault, right? I was always the one to blame. One of the neighborhood kids, something go wrong in the neighborhood, the first place they came was knocking on our door. You know where your kid was? He didn't do this shit again, did he? I was always that guy. And even if I didn't do it, sometimes I would still get in trouble for it. So I just learned to own up to shit to keep from getting my ass beat as a kid. And I always feel like the blame was being pointed at me. And as a kid, like the blame would be pointed at me. And I hadn't even done nothing wrong. I might actually be doing something right. And here the blame is being pointed at me. And so I've grown up with that my entire life. It's like we'll just call it the proverbial chip on my shoulder. And so when someone challenges me on social media or sends us a challenging email or direct message, which a lot of our business is based on that. Some of you might be like, but social media is so petty. It is until it's your business. And, fortunately / unfortunately, social media is a lot of what my business models revolve around. And while it can be a fun, entertaining thing to do when I don't watch TV, I surf Facebook when I got stuff to do. I enjoy Facebook, but it can also be a pain in the ass sometimes. And so David said, well, why do you sweat motherfuckers though? Why you let them get in your head? And I told him, I feel like I have to defend myself. Well, why? You haven't done anything. So you need to check your resume. But here's more important. He said, same thing would happen to me. Somebody would say something. I feel like I have to stand up for myself because I was taking advantage of a kid too. He said, it's real simple. Just don't read the comments. And as I thought about that, and we'll just say that's number 1 out of our 5, don't read the comments. But as I thought about that, it's like my come up originally was a company called Postfuser. And on Postfuser, I was managing social media for multiple people. So I had like real estate agents and loan officers and all these people that I was writing and their social media and doing 3 posts a day for them and then responding to their direct messages. I mean, it was a lot going on. And so I got used to being on Facebook. And then before I had money to spend on ads, I would get in Facebook groups and stay active on there and consistently deliver content. And I got used to answering direct messages and selling in the comments and all that. I did that for years, but now I have a sales team. And that's what they do. They watch my post. They know when to go and comment on posts and when to send people the link to buy from them and how to do all that stuff. There's no need for me to do that anymore. I'm a CEO now. And I run a sales team, and I have a sales team that does that for me. And so I had this realization is like, oh shit, well, I really don't have to check these comments anymore because I've got somebody else responding for me. About a year ago, I met with the three heads of my company, Hardcore Closer. And I said, your number one job is not the profitability of this company. I'll deal with that. Your number one job is to run interference when haters or naysayers come my way. And that's really changed the game for me because Lindsay gets my emails. So if somebody writes me some negative email, that ain't really me reading that shit anyway. Bad news for some of you, huh? She forwards what she thinks is important to me. The rest of it, maybe she reads it, deletes it, probably has a snicker a few times a day, right? Like laughing at shit people say to me and go like, yeah, he is kind of like that. But she runs interference. That's her job. If the sky is falling, a venue's fucking up for one of our events, we're undersold on tickets, the clients are, doing whatever the hell or anything that can go wrong, they keep that shit from me. Any of the negativity or the haters that come in, or they keep it to me until it gets to a point to where I have to be the one to make a decision. They keep it from me. And so not reading the comments, I've got my sales team to keep me from any negativity. Because the worst thing that you can do for a hater is give them attention. That's what they're trying to do. Yesterday I made a post. I'll just tell you a real story. Yesterday, a from the heart story. Okay, I'm gonna get vulnerable with you. So yesterday I make this post, and I'm like, it's easier to get 10 million than it is 10,000 from a bank. If you're gonna think big, gotta think big anyway. Donald Trump, right? The reason why I quoted Trump's because I know people get all triggered and they'll read the rest of it, right? I can give a fuck who the president is. I'm gonna make my motherfucking money regardless. I didn't vote for anybody. I have never voted in my entire life. Some of you are going, Stewman, you're a felon. You can't vote. That's bullshit. I can. I just choose not to because I have never in my life seen a politician other than Ron Paul, and then they didn't even let him into the damn primary that was worth voting for. Ron Paul should have been our last president, y'all. Anyway, but I didn't even vote for him because he didn't make it to the primary. And so here's the thing. I wrote that about Donald Trump because I know that triggers people, and I'm looking to get engagement on Facebook. That's what I do. But then I go on to say it's easier to borrow 10 million than it is 10,000 because if you were to borrow 10,000 for a business with a business plan, that's not very much money. If you were to borrow 10 million from a bank with a solid business plan, they know you'd be able to afford it. And there'd be plenty of funding to make things happen. And of course, there's the few haters in there. And one of them said, well, how do you know you've never done a $10 million loan? And my premise of the post was, think big and expand your thinking and don't confine yourself to small numbers if you want to do big things. And instead of taking that as inspiration, which is what I meant it for, I didn't mean it in the most literal sense possible. There was few haters, quite a few of them. It's like one of them said, how do you know if you've never borrowed $10 million before? And that's awful assuming that I've never borrowed $10 million before. And I had to think about that for a second because I'm like, this person's challenging maybe my integrity, but more importantly, my intellect. And I ain't got a whole lot of that. And strangely, that's what I rely on to pay my bills and for clients to retain me. So I felt compelled to defend myself, but I caught myself and I asked myself, what good is this going to do? I'll hover over the person's profile. It says they live in Bulgaria or something like that, which is absolutely fine. I'm not knocking Bulgaria, but most of my clients are Americans, Canadians, or Australians. And I don't know how much 10 million is in Bulgaria or anything about that. So how does this person chime in to hate? if they live over there, how do they know how our money works here? I don't know. I'm just saying these things go through my head, so I just like deleted and blocked it. I didn't respond to it. But I probably gave it 2 minutes in my head, but really I took a learning lesson from it. It's like, why did that trigger me? Because I felt like that person was insulting my intelligence. Because here's the truth. I've never borrowed $10 million. I have done several million to $2 million loans when I was in the mortgage business. So I do have an idea of what financing seven figures looks like, just not eight. However, I have a bunch of friends that do high-rise construction, that run that run different businesses, developers. I have mortgage companies, real estate brokerages that I know that have borrowed upwards of $25 million. And I didn't, there was another person that chimed on there, and this person chimes in with some negative bullshit regularly. And this person mentioned how long it took them, 2 years to be able to get a $10 million loan. And that's great. But I was just saying, if you are going to build a high rise and you ask the bank for $10,000, they're going to wonder how in the hell you're going to stretch your dollar that far. But if you're going to build a high rise and you're going to ask the bank for $10 million, that's still not enough money, but you get the difference. There's probably going to be a better funding opportunity with that 10 million because it's all in the deal. But at that point, I'm just trying to inspire people. My whole intention of that post wasn't to fucking have a who finances what and how long it fucking takes conversation. My whole point of that post was to inspire people to think bigger. If you're going to make $100,000 a year, it's probably easier to make $1 million. The first million is the hardest because you got to get out of your own goddamn way. I know. But then once you get that first one, it's like, oh shit, that was easy. And you're going to get more. I'm telling you, I'm living proof of it. But I say that because I read the comments, and I want to reply to them and be like, you guys are fucking dicks. The fuck are you? You're like, one dude he's worth a lot of money. He's good looking. He's got a lot of fucking shit going for him. Like, what the fuck do you care how correct my information on an inspirational post is? You got all this like wonderful life shit. What's fucked up with you that you're here? But I didn't say that. I thought to myself, I had to catch myself because David's inside my head right now, David Goggins. And I had to catch myself and I had to say, the whole fucking point of this motherfucking post, Ryan, was to fucking inspire people. And here you are dealing with the fucking people, whether they're morons or whether they're fucking people from the other side of the planet or whether there's somebody that's got a fucking negative mindset or somebody who just doesn't like me and likes to fucking throw stones at me or whatever the fuck that thing is. That's not why I wrote that post. So why am I paying attention to those people? And I had to remind myself, Ryan, what in the fuck were you reading the comments for? Because they will get you caught up. The stupidest shit, too. The stupidest shit. You see, here's the thing, my buddy Steve Krebs, and if you are a man looking for a personal development coach, Steve Krebs is the man. Steve Krebs tells me the other day, he says, well, man, the problem is you want to fight all the time. You're a man. You got a lot of pent-up energy. You got a lot of stress. You want to fight all the time. And people triggering you is pulling you out where you're ready to fight. He said, go fight. Go buy some bags and kick those motherfuckers. Go grapple some jujitsu. Go fucking hit mitts with somebody. I said, no shit. Because that's what happens, man. These people are hating on these comments because they ain't had their ass kicked in a while. And I don't mean that they need to get their ass kicked for hating on your comments, but as a man, we are supposed, as a man, like you get say misogynist motherfucker, I don't care. As a man, our job, evolution, genetics, all the fucking reasons that we were put here for the creator was to go out into the forest, leave the cave, chase down prey, kill it, bring it back, and feed the woman. And her job was to take care of the kids, right? That was the fucking singular evolution of fucking humans. The man would go out and get food. And let's just take a moment. While we're talking about this, I was realizing the other day that male lions are some straight up pimps. They are. They're like the only animal out there that sleeps 12 hours a day and has the female version of his species do all the work. You'll never see no male lion chase down an antelope. Ever. Male lion's such a pimp. He like, lion bitches, go get me an elephant. Lion bitches come back with an elephant. Ain't that some shit? Why is nobody talking about lions pimping since been pimping since been pimping since been pimping? they come back without an antelope. Lion be over there like, hold my hand, give me some baby powder, put some of this powder on my hand. So I'm just saying, like, evolution is crazy. But back to the story. So we as men, we're supposed to chase down and be hungry enough to kill something. In our species, in humans, that's what we do. We're supposed to be hungry enough to chase an animal down and kill that motherfucker with our bare hands. But here we are in 2017, where you don't even realize the steak comes from a cow. You don't even realize that a chicken nugget comes from a chicken. We just eat that shit. We just show up at these little boxes with doors, order what we want, pay at a little cash register, take our food and eat it. And we don't even really think about that entire process. And what happens is we're not doing what we're supposed to do, which is go out and kill these things. And we're not satisfying that fucking ultra fucking, alligator lizard brain, fucking the evolution caveman brain that we have inside of us. We're not fucking feeding that. And so what happens is we troll on people's posts and get triggered. If that ain't the best goddamn explanation of what's going on for the most part, there ain't a better one out there. I promise you that. We got all this shit that we're not releasing. When's the last time you stepped out on the street and a woolly mammoth tried to roll your ass over? It don't happen anymore. So we got this amygdala, which is the fight or flight mechanism in the brain, and it's constantly looking for fucking reasons to fight or flight. The problem is we really ain't got shit going on. So we get triggered over words on the internet. It's fuck crazy. So number one, don't read the comments. Number two, man, don't assume they're haters. There is a 55-38-7 rule. Write this down. 55-38-7. I forget the great communications major or whatever the fuck that says that, but you can look it up. 38-55-7. And it says that 55% of what we perceive when a person uses words, when someone talks to us, 55% of what we perceive of us interpreting that language. So if you were to take 100% and you say, when you listen to somebody talk in front of you, 55% of what you're listening to is their body language. Well, the problem on the internet is we don't see a person's body language in the comments. That's not how it works. Sometimes we use memes and GIFs. That kind of helps a little bit, but that's not how it works. So 55% of what we're normally used to interpreting does not work. So there can be some shit that's lost in that space because there's no body language. 38% is tonality. So how you say things, use a motherfucker, use a motherfucker. See the difference? That's tonality. And only 7% is the actual words. So if you think about that, we're dealing with, when we're reading internet comments and we're deciphering what's in our inbox, the inflection's gone, the body language is gone, and we're relying on 7% of our fucking interpreting skills. And sometimes, and you know what, we read according to how we are at that moment. You wake up in the morning, you could be in a good mood. You could be like, you's a motherfucker. They wake up in the morning, they could be in a bad mood. They'd be like, you call me a motherfucker? Such a dangerous word. And motherfucker is one word. So when you read stuff sometimes, I read an email the other day. And the dude he's just bad with words. But it was, hey, Ryan, and it started off to say, I really love your webinar, and I really learned a lot of cool stuff, blah, 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 blah. But that amygdala goes off in my head just like yours. I'm human, so I'm like, oh, but what, motherfucker? Because that's maybe the mood that I was in. And I read it, and I didn't respond to it. A couple days later, I thought, well, let me see what the fuck he wrote. I was in a better mood. I wanted to read it from a different mood. And I read it again, and the person just was bad with words. What they were saying, because they used the word jarring. They said, what was jarring to me? And I thought, jarring? The fuck was jarring? That sounded like I'm trying to steal something from you. Jarring? It was just like he didn't understand. He was like, but I'm not sure exactly what I can get. And I thought, well, you know what? I need to add that to the training. I need to make sure that this person wasn't trying to be a hater. At first, I read it from a hater standpoint, so I thought he was trying to be a hater. But now I realize that I need to go make this thing better. So don't assume that they're haters. Sometimes that's you, not them. Number 3, handle them with dignity, but tell them to fuck off. My My homie Matt Ganzik's really good at this. He'll show me a comment and he says, we need to respond to this on this ad. What would you say? And I'm like, you tell him to suck my motherfucking fucking dick. And he's like, okay, well, how about this? How about we tell them that it comes with this, this, and this, and that some people have experienced. He's like, he has this like way of like, okay, Ryan, whatever. This is why he helps me, right? But my entire time of coming up, that's what I always did was I just told people to fuck off. But I realized I catch more flies with honey. I can inspire more lives with positivity than I can with negativity. But here's the thing, like there's going to be haters and they're going to show up in your inbox, your email. They might even SEO a website against you. But here's what you got to do. You got to handle them with dignity, but let them know you ain't to be fucked with. And a good example of that is somebody complains about your services, but usually the people that complain about our services, let's say somebody leaves a review on your page and it says, this company, say you're a mortgage person, they say this company totally got our loan denied. You go back and you say, while I do appreciate you trusting us with your finances, the fact that you guys decided to buy furniture a week before to have your credit pulled drastically changed the circumstance of what we had to offer. And I do appreciate you trusting us, and I'd like to reconcile this, but at the same time, the mistake is on you and not us. Now, I don't know what you can and can't release as far as people's information, so consult your fucking compliance department if you're a loan officer, but that's what I would do. It's like, hey, handle them with dignity, but at the same time, fuck off. Number 4, don't give them space in your head. I know that there'll be times where somebody leaves some bullshit comment or sends you a message, an email or whatever. You'll want to respond to it and then you don't. And then around lunchtime when you got a break from work, start thinking about life again and then that comment comes back up in your head. Then at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I finally thought about this enough to respond. Are you giving that person different minutes, maybe even hours throughout the entire day inside your head? They've rented more space than we know what to do with. And so here's the thing. You just can't let them get in your head, man. And the way to do that is just shut them off, first of all, by not reading the comments. That's number 1 for a reason. But you just can't give haters space. That's what they want. Haters are like pop-up ads. They want to distract you and piss you off. You got to do your part. And my mentor, Dave, he says this. DG says that you need to learn to control your mind to be as calm in extremely stressful situations as it is in extremely relaxful situations. And so when someone's stressing you out as a troll, you got to handle yourself the same as if you were sitting at the beach drinking a Mai Tai with no fucks given. When I was in the Dominican Republic not too long ago, it was me and my wife, and we were just chilling and, doing husband and wife shit a few times a day and hanging out on the beach in between and having a good time. And there couldn't have been, somebody could have told me anything about me and I wouldn't have given a fuck, right? Somebody could have wrote anything, I don't even know what somebody could, because I think highly of myself. I don't know what somebody could say bad, but they could have said anything. This motherfucker's got a tiny penis and a terrible haircut. I've been like, yeah. There's nothing that would have fazed me because I was in my happy place. And my goal in life is to learn to control myself under extremely stressful situations. I'm running 7 companies right now. And I'm having to learn to control myself and conduct myself in the same manner under the pressure of 7 companies and multiple employees and everything else as I would relaxing on the beach, doing husband and wife things a few times a day. And the key is I can't let people get in my head because they distract me from that happy place. I perform well under pressure, but now my next evolution is to be able to take all that pressure and really it not affect me externally. Number 5, last but not least, use them as motivation. You got to get on your job. Haters, get on your job. It's motivation. You got to get on your job. Tell them, haters, get on your job. Y'all heard that's T.I. You should look it up. It's motivation.
You can look me in the eye, see I'm down for whatever. Anything don't kill me, make me better. That's some good shit, man. Because listen, you know, people, they always say people are hating on you doing something right. I'll be honest with you, man. When I had 1,000 friends on Facebook, if one or two people hated me, I didn't really care too much. And I got the 10,000 fans on Facebook, and we got 10 or 20 people hating me. I really didn't care too much. But man, once I got to 100,000 and we got hundreds of people fucking hating me, it changed a little bit. Sometimes we have as many as 3 million people in a week that see my post on that page. And man, there's, 3 million people. That's a good 3,000 haters. It's just the law of numbers that are going to show up. And guess who talks the loudest? Haters. Because guess what? Somebody watches my shit and goes and make sales from it. They ain't got time to comment. They're like, oh shit, that's a great idea. And they go do it and make money from it. But the motherfuckers that don't do nothing, a bunch of, like as Ronda Rousey calls them, do nothing bitches, read the comments and they go in there and they do all that shit, right? They ain't motivated. They're trying to distract you, man. Use those people as motivation because you're shaking up their world because they're jealous of you and your success. I know that anytime I have a situation where I'm hating on somebody, right, that I don't like personally know. Right, there's some gurus out there that I think are complete simpletons that are full of shit. And I hate on them because they're more successful than me. But the reason why is because I'm mad at myself because I'm working hard to fucking fix in the marketplace what some of these knuckleheads have broken. And so I hate on them, but really I'm mad at myself because I'm fucking can't work as fast as they can because they fucking got about a 10-year to 30-year head start on me. But I'm doing it. But I know every time I be hating on them, it's like, the real reason is because I'm mad at myself because I'm fucking trying to catch these motherfuckers. And that's what I know as a man. I know to go to war. There is no friendly competition with me. If we playing basketball, I played basketball in prison. We didn't have no damn referees and call fouls. Friendly game of basketball was no such thing. Like we were at war while we were on that court. You know, if I'm competing against you in anything, when I was the top producer everywhere that I've ever had in any sales job, if I'm competing against you, we're at war. I'm the top to the second place dude at the mortgage company. Fuck that guy. We friends. They're like, we could be friends now. But at that time, it was like, oh, this is the person that I'm about to fucking disrupt and upset. There's no sense in us even trying to be friends. That only complicates the thing. So just use them as motivation. So number one, don't read the comments. Number two, don't assume they're haters. Remember the 38-55-7 rule. Number three, handle them with dignity, yet tell those motherfuckers to kiss your motherfucking ass. Number four, don't let them rent space in your head, man. That shit, like, dude, especially don't give nobody free rent ever. Number five, use them as motivation. Listen, if you want to learn how to, the thing that I know causes more haters to show up, but cause you less to give a fuck about them is money. If you want to make more sales, which leads to more money, you need to pick up a free copy of my book, Elevator to the Top. And you can pick it up at elevatortothetop.com. It's free. Just go over there, elevatortothetop.com. Grab a free copy. I'll mail it to your house. It's a paperback copy. It's a real fucking book. It's not like some ebook gimmick bullshit. So head over there to elevatortothetop.com because you make more sales, you make more money, you make more haters, but you make less. Give us a fuck. So, all right. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed this show, if you know somebody who's getting eat up by haters, somebody who's getting bothered, make sure you send them a copy of this episode. The link replay will be up at Hardcore Closer. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and everywhere else. And don't forget, last but not least, to leave me a review.